I'm going to present an example of using assemblies to look at a workforce hiring issue. So the first thing I'll do is my model. I'll start it out. Let's just let it run for 100 months. Leave the time units there. If you've not done so already, you need to open the Assemblies panel, which under Windows, open Assemblies panel. It will pop to the front here. I already had it docked. And I'm going to start with an aging chain with productivity, which is a relatively complex assembly. I will start out using this as workforce, which is its main customization. And then in that, I'm going to look at the output of production. We're actually not going to worry about that very much. The resources workers, output unit, and widget per month, and resource unit people. Those are all fine. So I'll just click OK and drop the assembly. We'll bring everything down. I'm actually going to get rid of the top part of this because I'm not interested in productivity in looking at this problem. I'm really just looking at the number of workers and where we get them. So the assemblies by default all start out in equilibrium. We acquire workers. They're new, mature, and seasoned workers. And what I want to do is set up a model so I can set a target for the number of workers that we have. So there's an assembly for that that is called closing the gap. And I'm going to add that to I'm going to select workforce. Again, that's one of the common examples. I will add that to the model. I have hiring based on workers and workers, net hiring, workers, people. Those are all good. I'll click OK. I select that, and now my net hiring is actually the thing that I'm going to be making equal to acquiring workers. Now, as soon as I do that, we'll see that workers disappear. This assembly is set up to be in equilibrium, which means the workers and the workers' goal are the same, so hiring is 0. If hiring is 0, of course, this chain disappears because we're bringing nothing new into it. So we need to set a goal that is based upon the target seasoned workers. So I'm going to connect target seasoned workers into the workers goal. That's how many we'd like to have. And then seasoned workers, I'm going to connect into the number of workers, and then we get this behavior where acquiring workers is oscillating, new workers is oscillating, and the other thing that's happening, of course, is seasoned workers. If we look at the results for it, and I will uncheck comparative, is coming in and now is below its goal. It's below its goal because we are only hiring when there's a gap. We are not doing any replacement. So let's add a connector from retiring workers. I'll use a shift key to reshape my connector a little bit as I drag it across here into acquiring workers, and I'm going to ask for retiring workers plus net hiring as the equation for that. And now we see we're back in an equilibrium situation, and if I make my target seasonal workers, instead of just being 1,000, to be a something with a step in it, so 100 plus 10, we can see that we get an oscillation in new and mature workers. The oscillation shows up in seasoned workers, though not quite so strongly. It takes us a long time to kind of get where we want. If we take the adjustment time here, which is set at 5 right now, and I go to Explore mode, and make that somewhat shorter, you can see that we get bigger oscillations. If I make it somewhat longer, we get somewhat shorter oscillations. But we can do a supply line correction by, instead of having workers, target seasoned workers is the goal, we can do the goal as the sum of the different targets. So I'm going to put in a goal from target mature workers, and I'm going to add the two, and I'm going to put in a goal from target new workers, and I'm going to add that to the list. And then we do the same thing with the actual number of workers. We add mature workers, add it. We add new workers, add it. And now we get a situation where the number of workers is adjusting smoothly to its new goal. So that's a way you can use assemblies to build and experiment with a very simple worker hiring model.